If you're already showing up on LinkedIn and posting consistently, talking to people in the DMs and sharing a ton of value, but it's still taking people weeks or even months to make a decision to work with you, you need to watch this video because this isn't a do more strategy, it's a do smarter strategy. And I'm going to show you how YouTube can cut that time in half without burning you out. Here's what I see happening behind the scenes. And then also, when I talk with women over 40, they confirm that what I'm seeing is accurate. She's already built her business. She's doing all of the strategies and she's showing up consistently. And still, clients are slow to say yes. And she knows that people are watching her. They're liking her posts. They're engaging with her. If they have a DM conversation, they're actually talking with her. But then she starts to wonder, why aren't they converting? Is my offer not correct? Is something missing from the conversation or the content that I'm sharing on LinkedIn? She even starts to wonder if it's her, if she's the problem. But the truth is, it's not the content. It's how deep people are able to connect with you on that platform. And in this case, LinkedIn. You've probably experienced this as well with the clients that have said yes to working with you. They don't buy based on the information that you share, right? They're buying to work with you based on the energy and the connection that they have with you during those conversations. The problem is that having those conversations on one platform with limited capability of having an actual face-to-face conversation is limited to the tools and resources available on that platform. When you take that conversation or even share resources that help those clients get to know, like, and trust you faster, in particular on YouTube, where you have videos that they can binge watch, then it's going to help accelerate that process for them saying yes to working with you. YouTube is the only platform that can give them that immersive experience for them to get to know you, understand the value that you deliver, how you might be to work with as a coach, and how you might even share content with testimonials, for example, and how other clients perceive working with you. One of the biggest problems with a platform like LinkedIn is that you post the content, but it may not get seen by the majority of your network. That content stays live for a short amount of time. And so that's why the majority of the people that you need to see your content actually aren't seeing it. On YouTube, though, however, that is a search-based platform. People are going there looking for particular information. And if you have your videos structured the right way with the keywords and it's optimized for those individuals to find you, that's how net new clients are going to find you. But if you structure your videos and your playlists in the right way, you can then share that content from YouTube with your clients on LinkedIn through DMs before you even get on a call with them. When they're on YouTube, they're actually sitting there with you. They could be sitting there for 5, 10, 20, 30 longer watching your videos. They can see your facial expression. They can hear your voice inflection. They can see your hand gestures and anything else that you might be sharing on screen or what's going on behind them. It's just a really great way for you or your clients to get to know you a lot faster. And it's something that can't be shared or experienced on any other platform. Here's the strategy I use with my clients. I call it the bridge strategy. On LinkedIn is where they're going to find you. On YouTube, it's where they're going to trust you. And one way that you can help bridge that gap is by creating content starting with YouTube first and it becoming the anchor for all your other content. You can then use that one video and create short clips that you can use on LinkedIn. You can use them as YouTube Shorts. If you're also on Facebook, if you're also on Instagram, that is a really quick, easy, and simple, smart way to create content that's not going to burn you out or make you feel like you have to create content for a completely new platform, but it just requires you to reverse the way that you think and start with something that's going to be high value and then leverage that and create shorter pieces of content that you can create for other platforms. Even those video clips or the script that you have from your main video on YouTube can be used for quotes. It can be used for carousels. It can be used for a blog post. There are many ways that you can use that one piece of content in different formats across multiple platforms. Using this strategy, your content now isn't sparse or disconnected. It's all connected and tied back to one piece of main content on YouTube. So now your posts aren't just valuable, they're linked back to something with a deeper connection. Now, I understand this whole thing about creating content for all the different platforms. It's actually something that I used to do about 5 years ago. I would create a separate piece of content for Facebook, for Instagram, for LinkedIn, for YouTube. And I was spinning my wheels and just felt exhausted by the end of the week because I felt like I couldn't ever just catch up. I felt like I was constantly creating content, and that content hamster wheel gets exhausting after a while. And if you're doing that today, then you can understand and empathize with the fact that it does feel exhausting. When you move forward with the strategy I just mentioned, the bridge strategy, it's going to actually reduce the amount of time that you feel like you're creating content because you're starting with one piece that can be repurposed in multiple ways, in multiple formats across multiple platforms. When I started creating my content that way, it actually gave me a sigh of relief. And I felt like a whole weight had been lifted off my shoulders. And I actually felt like I was a step ahead of the whole content creation process. Plus, I know the value that you can get from YouTube videos and the way that you structure your videos and how you incorporate your calls to action. That's where the magic lies in actually helping increasing your conversions without you being involved at all. In fact, it can happen while you're sleeping. Here's the thing: when you start creating videos for YouTube and you start building a connection with your audience, you'll start receiving DMs on LinkedIn where people are telling you that they feel like you're talking directly to them. They feel like you actually get them and that you understand them. That connection is where the magic lies. That connection is what's going to get them to say yes to you faster. That kind of connection doesn't come from posts, it comes from presence. And that type of presence can only be found on YouTube. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I'm ready. I think you've sold me on this. I need to get started. I don't have a YouTube channel yet. Or you might have a channel and you haven't posted anything on it yet. I've got you. And first things first, you do not need fancy camera or any type of fancy equipment. You can use your phone. You can use a window for natural lighting. And as long as it's quiet, the speaker on your phone is good enough for getting those first videos done. Knowing that, remove all of the stress and anxiety of thinking that you have to have this amazing setup. You've got exactly what you need right now. And then I want to ask, do you get questions from your ideal clients on a weekly basis? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that you do, because most of us do, especially as the business owners. And especially if you're already putting content out there, you're already creating the curiosity and interest in what it is that you do. And those people who see that and are like, hey, I know he or she can help me, that's what's already kind of drawn them in. And here's where I'm going with that. You've already got a repository of questions that people are already asking you. With that information, take one question and create a high value video that you post on YouTube once a week. That's all it takes. And I'm starting to see this happen more often on LinkedIn, is that people are taking that longer video, they're creating the short form clips, and they're using those in their posts, especially right now where LinkedIn's actually increasing views of people who are using videos. Now's a great time to do that. You can also take that entire video, and when you get a DM from someone who's asking a question, you now have a video that's going to dive deeper into that answer. And you've gone above and beyond in this case, right? So it's becoming memorable. Plus, you're sending them someplace where they can do an even deeper dive on your other videos and really immersing them into your overall content and helping them get to know, like, and trust you faster. Not only are they going to be more likely to subscribe to your channel, but you've taken yourself out of the equation temporarily so that they can get to know, like, and trust you faster on their own because you've already done the due diligence up front to create the video content that's going to help them do that. Then you can take a quote from your video and create a text post and an image that maybe you created in Canva and use that as your post or piece of content that day. and then redirect people back to the full video if they have questions or if they want to learn more. Doing it this way, you're not just responding, you're positioning yourself as an authority figure and a go-to person in your industry. You're starting to create that category of one that you've been wanting for a long time. And now by doing these smarter strategies, you're actually carving out that lane or that category where you're going to step into your power and be that go-to person in your industry. And now you're not just posting, you're nurturing on autopilot. Having a system set up like this is going to make your life easier, and it's going to help you work smarter when it comes to connecting the dots between where your ideal clients are now and where they ultimately need to be. You're going to be the conduit that's going to give them the information that they've been looking for, but haven't been able to find. One of the biggest concerns I hear from women like you is that they think that YouTube is going to consume a ton of time that they just don't think that they've got time for. And I get it, because when I first got started and I had no idea what I was doing, it was very time consuming. But what I found out is that when I learned how to actually create the videos, craft them in a way that's actually going to be smarter for me and my process, but then also deliver the most value to the people who are watching them, that's where I understood why I needed to focus on this platform and creating the videos and helping others create videos that are going to help connect the dots between their ideal clients again, where they are and where they ultimately want to be. Here's the shift. YouTube isn't more work, it's smarter work. Instead of constantly showing up, creating posts, or going live all the time, you're actually creating one video every week that does the heavy lifting for you. Plus, YouTube works for you 24/7. Your LinkedIn posts, for the most part, die after 48 hours. And I've seen this with my videos. I've mentioned it in other videos. I've talked about it in posts across all my platforms. Videos on YouTube, so that time and effort that you put into creating that piece of content goes beyond just the 24, 48 hours or even a week. Your videos can live on for months and years later. I still have a video. In fact, I checked my analytics this week. I have a video that I created in October of 2020. Yes, 4.5 years ago, that's actually shown up again in my top 10 videos of all time. It's an unpublished video that for some reason is still getting views and still getting engagement. So tell me there's not magic and power in YouTube itself and creating videos that last forever. If you're already showing up on LinkedIn and you're thinking, okay, I get it. I understand the value of YouTube. I know I need to start spending time there. And I see that it's a smarter decision where I'm spending my time to create content and connect with my ideal audience. If you're ready to move forward and want to work smarter, I've got my 3-part YouTube video accelerator formula that I would love to send to you. Just comment below ready, and I will send it directly to you. I designed this specifically for women over 40 who are already showing up on social media. They really want to use YouTube to speed up the trust and get more qualified leads. So drop the word ready, and I'll send you the link so that you can access it immediately. If you're ready to dive deeper into how you can leverage YouTube with social media platforms to convert more leads into sales, go ahead and click on this video here, because I've broken this down step by step and showing you how you can make this work. So go ahead and click on the video, and I'll see you over there.